Hi. I'm here to talk about why I think Tasha Yar is the best female character in Star Trek The Next Generation. I feel like that isn't the most popular opinion. I feel like a lot of people would consider Deanna Troy or Beverly Crusher to be the best female character in The Next Generation, which would make a lot of sense since they are the two main female characters in the next generation. Tasha Yar was one of the main female characters in the first season, but didn't get a whole lot to do after that. However, I feel like Tasha Yar really created a legacy for herself that was really emotionally impactful. The first season of The Next Generation is not one of the best seasons of the show. Um, I think that either that season or the second season is the weakest season of the show. And I do like all the seasons of The Next Generation, but the first two seasons felt like uh, there was some struggle to figure some stuff out. It felt like some characters hadn't been fully thought out, and some episodes weren't great. Uh, but it the first season did have Tasha Yar, who was a cool character, strong character, a very capable, confident female character, which is great to have in Star Trek and in franchises in general. Um, and she was very well played by Denise Crosby, and she was able to add a lot. And after not too long, Tasha Yar was gone. And there was a way that Tasha Yar could have just been ignored, and that would be it. That Tasha Yar would seemingly just be a character that they would write off and never bring up again, or at least not very often. And for a while, that kind of seemed like the way things would go about. Tasha Yar was defeated in a somewhat underwhelming way, pretty anticlimactic. So it could seem like, oh, well, that character just didn't really work out. She's gone, and then they move on. And I feel like that's what they did for Pulowski, where after she was out of the show, I felt like she was rarely ever mentioned again, even though uh, I feel like they could have brought her back as a guest or brought her up a little bit more often, but just Pulaski just gone. But with Tasha Yar, it felt like her legacy really meant something for the crew. Because I feel like even by that point, even though some of the character dynamics hadn't fully developed, it was clear that the crew really cared about Tasha Yar. It wasn't just simply that they worked with her, they cared about her. And her passing really meant something to them, and they continued caring about her. And it was clearly something that they were very sad about, was losing her. And that really meant something. And in the episode where she came back, that is easily one of the most emotional episodes of Star Trek. Easily one of the best episodes of The Next Generation. And Tasha Yar getting to have another send off, but this time a much better one, and a one that pulled on the heartstrings a lot more, made her a much more interesting character than ever before. It was fantastic, absolutely amazing. Uh, her development episode, I prefer it over anything that Beverly Crusher or Deanna Troy got to do in The Next Generation, which is really impressive because they were in a lot more episodes. And when Tasha Yar came back once again for the final episode, another really big pulling on the heartstrings, really added to the tension of the episode, made things a lot more interesting. It felt like much more than just fan service. It felt like it really meant something, and it was incredibly important to why that the finale of The Next Generation is another one of the best episodes of the show. And something that I love is that Tasha Yar left an impact on Data, the seemingly emotionless character, to the point where Tasha Yar is brought up in the third season of Picard, all the way to the third season. A character that was defeated in the first season, The Next Generation, uh, being brought up in a season over 3 decades later. It really shows that Tasha Yar meant something. And that is quite impressive. So I think the way they handled Tasha Yar's send off, the way they somewhat changed history, and the impact that she continued to have on the crew was incredible, because they could have just easily ignored her like they did with Pulowski, but they didn't, and they really made her sacrifice mean something, and she is great.